Good morning, everybody. My name's Jen Elek. I'm a studio artist educator from Seattle, Washington. I'm here teaching a 2-week color survey class at the CMOG studio, and I'm working with my friend Tanner Weiss, who's also a glass artist from Seattle, Washington. Today, I'm going to make a small platter that's a leaf platter, and it's inspired by a couple things. My friend Francesco Ungaro, also known as Keiko Ungaro, used to make a leaf platter designed by Tierra Lundgren for the Vanini factory. I'm somebody who likes to walk in the woods, and oftentimes I'll find a little something, whether it be an oak leaf or a feather or a stone. And so I've been starting this new series that's inspired by those forest findings, and I thought this small leaf platter would be really in line with that inspiration. And I can show you a couple of the objects that I've been working on throughout that theme. I've been making little pine cones and little feathers, and I started to come to this feather pattern in an unusual way. So you might be familiar with pulling cane. That's just simple color with a stiffer white on the inside, and we have some beautiful colors in the furnaces melted by Harry Seaman, and we have cobalt blue and aqua blue in the furnace. And so I started out this piece by pulling some straight cane, and then I picked up the straight cane on a clear blob of solid glass, and then I twisted that up into Zamfirico cane. Once I had a Zamfirico cane, I twisted one clockwise and one counterclockwise, and then I melted them in a kiln, making a blank. And that's the beginning of this piece that we're making today. I have this blank in the oven, and we're going to pick that up onto what's called a plunger. And so that leads me over to, I can talk you through a little chalk talk. And I'm going to have this blank in the oven, and we're going to come over with this clear glass plunger shape and pick this pattern up. Now the pattern through the beginning of the piece is going to look really small, just at the tip of this pebble, but I'm going to gather over it, and then I'm eventually going to ovalize the form, and towards the very end of the piece, I'm going to add a little, just sort of section out a little stem and a little tip of the leaf. Now I've made just one of these pieces before with this starting blank, but I haven't really made this into like a leaf shape before, so this is the first time for me. So I'm so grateful for you all to be here tuning in with us and coming on this journey, and we're going to get started. Tanner's already begun the clear glass plunger that's going to work to pick up the blank that's in the kiln. Tanner, I'm going to have you start to ramp up the kiln a little bit while I'm getting this together. So I'm just heating up the tip of the clear glass a little bit more than the rest of it so that I can begin to tweeze open the top. And this is going to make, for lack of a better descriptive word, is a plunger. I was sort of joking around with my class earlier that I'm from a long line of a plumbing family, and even though I went into glass, the plunger is still part of what I do. And we have Carmen here. Thank you, Carmen. I'm going to have you blow just a little bit.
Is it on a program?
Stop. Yeah. You can go ahead and get one of the techs to turn it up for you, Tanner. Blow a little bit, please. Stop. And I'm just carefully tweezing over the top. This plunger is going to be sort of a unique shape for a plunger because my blank inside the kiln isn't exactly round or square. It's sort of a rectangle. So I've taken some caliper readings, and I'm going to try to match that shape as best as possible so I'm not wasting any of the glass. We're just about ready for you to start heating that up, Tanner. You could pick up the plate and put it in the glory hole. Yeah, and you can shut the glory hole off if you want to so it doesn't shock it. And would you mind bringing those calipers over, Carmen? We'll just sort of check in with them, see if I'm getting close. All right, thanks. Add a little bit, please. Yeah. Sounds great. I can switch to the other hole there, Tanner. Yeah. Yeah, and Carmen, you can go ahead and grab the calipers and bring them over to the other bench for me. Thanks. Normally I probably wouldn't be quite so picky about my plunger and having a little bit of scrap, but that blank took a bit of work in the cold shop to get it to where it needs to be, so I'm being a little bit more specific and careful and really measuring with the calipers. Paddle, please. All right. So I'll take one of those corks, Carmen. The one that has number 1 on the plate, and I think it's over to the left. On the plate, yeah. All right, I'm just about ready. Jonathan, you could get the tour for Tanner. Yep. Yep. I'm almost there, Tanner. You can give it a little bit of heat, Tanner. Yep. We can do it after this one. Okay, sounds great. trick here is that I want to be warm enough to pick up the pattern, but I don't want to press my bubble in so much that the bubble gets too close. Swing it. Nice heat. Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. So I'm going to take a couple moments to really just press this on, make sure I have a good seal. I feel really fortunate to be here at Corning and sharing my passion for the material with this class. Talking a lot about color and a survey of glass color starting from frits and powders all the way up to cane working, and later in the week we'll be doing Marini work. But I'm just so grateful to the people along the way who have shown me and taught me and been my instructors. And I feel really grateful to be in a position now where I'm instructing people in glass. I'm just carefully sort of taking time to marry the two materials together. So my friend Keiko Ongado, who would make the Tiralungan leaf plate at Vanini, came about to the pattern in a very different way than the way I'm doing it today. I had the privilege of being able to help Keiko make those a few times, and he would actually pick up cane and twist it and then draw out the line into a feather line kind of pattern. And today we're doing it a little bit differently. I don't want to say that I'm cheap, doing a shortcut, because the process I'm doing actually did take a bit of time. Blow softly, please, Carmen. Stop. I'm just initiating my bubble, making sure everything's there. Then I'm going to go ahead and trim some of the excess glass off and start bringing the bubble down so that it's a gather-overable shape. Once I gather it over once, we're going to transfer this onto another blow pipe with a blow post. I'm going to try to trim off as very little of this glass as possible. I want to really use as much of that material as I can. Now I'll carefully start blocking this together. And if my clear glass pickup form was too hot, I could potentially touch that onto the pattern. So I purposefully made the bubble so it's pushed out from the form enough that I have enough airspace before I pick up my pattern. So a lot of this is sort of heat regulation, making sure that I have good heat on my pattern pickup and not overheating my clear glass, so I still have some stability to be able to melt in my pattern. I can do a little marver here. It's a trickier shape since it's oval already, but I like that because it's eventually going to be an ovalized leaf form. Just giving it enough air to do its thing. I'll use a sort of larger size block than I normally would need. And instead of blowing, I can have people cap the pipe for me. We're just going to shrink this down so that we can get it to a gather-overable shape. Cap the pipe, please. And I'm really being careful not to distort this pattern as I go. I don't want to twist it. I really want to keep that center line in there because that's going to be my leaf line. Cap the pipe, please. I'm saving a little bit of extra glass down there at the bottom because it's going to be a stretched out ovalized form. Blow a little bit, Carmen. Stop. Now you can see the pattern starting to appear. We have that line, not quite in the center, but it's a center line where the two canes come together. And that's going to be the center line of my leaf. So I'm going to gather a little bit of clear over this, and then we'll transfer it onto a blowpipe. Thanks, Tanner. You can see the pattern starting to shape up. Gosh, they've really been melting us some beautiful glass here at Corning. So grateful for beautiful glass. And the cobalt blue and the copper blue in the furnace. It's been really fun to be able to show the students the joys of being able to dip hot color. So now I've really put the gather just on the pattern part that I'm going to be using. I didn't gather over the whole piece purposefully. Blow softly, please, Carmen. Stop. It's like he's got a mohawk. Y'all are welcome to come down and check out the pattern closer up, too, if you want to see it. Blow, please. Stop. We'll just stretch that out a little bit more. just elongating the form here because the pattern is going to be the only part that we're using for the piece and not the clear glass. Blow a little bit more, please, Carmen. Stop. This is pretty thick, so I'm giving it a second. Blow one more time. Stop. Yeah. I'm going to stay out a little bit longer because I'm letting my jack line cool down. I can heat up the bottom so that the punny sticks. So what essentially we've done here with the plunger pickup is switching the access of the canes in a really unique way, I think. I'm just giving that jack line a chance to cool down and superheating the bottom of the piece so that my punny sticks. It's only going to be on there briefly until we put the blow post, and that'll be the start of the piece. I get a lot of inspiration being out in the woods, but also being able to work with my friends. Like, I get to work with Tanner here on Nancy Cowan's team, with Dave Walters, and Dave and Nancy and I have built up a really great friendship over the years, working on Lino Tagliapietra's team. And it's friendships like that that I really treasure. They're masters at the material, and they're so generous as teachers and really generous as friends. So big shout out to Nancy Cowan and Dave Walters and all the people who I've worked with that have been so generous, showing me their techniques that have helped inform what I do. I got to work here as a TA last summer for Josie Gluck and Michael Shunke, who are also really great, generous instructors. So I really feel super grateful for my friendship with Keiko Ongado. He was the first Italian master blower to come over to Pilcheck Glass School and share his knowledge with the Pilcheck community. And what that started is an incredible relationship with international artists coming from all over the world to share their techniques here at Corning, at places like Pilcheck Glass School, Haystack Mountain Crafts in Penland. I'll do another heat like that. I'll actually do it and you can start the blow post. I'm so grateful for these art organizations. There's such a vital connection for artists to explore materials and find new pathways. So having the opportunity to travel to Australia, where my friend Carmen here is from, and go to the Jam Factory in Canberra and work with artists like Nettie Blair and create new friendships, really inform what I'm doing. So I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be here at Corning and for all of what places like Pilcheck and Penland and Urban Glass have given me over the years. These communities are so vital to the arts, so if they're out there listening and you have the ability to do so, please support Corning and their expansion, Philcheck, all of these places really are such a vital lifeline for the arts community and for us to continue doing what we do. I'm just trimming off that last amount of clear before I attach the blow post. I really don't want to waste as much of this material as possible, but I don't want to attach the blow post where that clear is. So I'll probably pull it out one more time before I trim it. So Tanner's just creating a blow post, and he's really matching the width of my piece. Paddle a little bit. Stop. Yep. Nice shot, Tanner. Thanks, Carmen. I think over here. It's pretty close. I'm just blocking this together, getting it ready for the gather over shape, but I'm also taking a gander to see if there's a mark left from where the punny just came off. So I have an opportunity to trim just the tiniest little amount off the tip of the bubble. Let's see that, Tanner. Yep. I really want to keep this color pattern pretty dense, so I'm not going to gather too much glass over it. Probably just one gather is going to be enough, because I want that black line to be pretty dense. Blow a little bit, please. Stop. Sort of nice where the two come together. I'm just going to show the class real quick, the pattern that we came up with. So you can start to see the pattern shaping up. It's a little different than what we just did with the straight up Zamfirico. You can see the pattern starting to shape up. I touched a little bit with the tool, so I'm just going to give it a quick heat before I go in. Okay, that other one again. I got it. Just a soft blow right now, Carmen. Just reinitiating that bubble a little bit. Stop. We'll heat it one more time and then we'll start to blow. Let's see that, Tanner. Just saving some of that extra glass down at the bottom. This is going to be a stretched out, ovalized form. Blow a little bit, please, Carmen. Stop. I'm going to head over the marver and do a little bit of cooling of the bottom. Letting it stretch. Blow, please. Stop. Pretty good. Yeah, comfy. Blow a little bit, please, Carmen. Softly. Stop. Blow one more time. Stop. Now I'm going to begin to start squatting up the form a little bit. I'm heating the whole form, and then I'm going to cap it off and hang it up, put the glass up. That's going to squat down the form, and I'm going to squeeze it with the corks. I'm going to not ovalize it too much right yet. I'm just holding the form up a little bit. Next, I'm going to do this again. We're going to squeeze it with the corks. A sec. I'll have you cap the pipe while we paddle it with the corks. So now I'm going to ovalize the form. It doesn't take much, just a quick squeeze with the corks. Sometimes I get a little extra air to the bottom so that the heat doesn't squeeze out the glass out of the bottom. This is such a stretched out form. Turning. Blow a little bit, please. Stop. Thanks. Jonathan, can I have a door on the right too, please? Thanks. Just going to cool off that jack line one more time before I squat it up again. Now I've sort of set the oval shape for my platter. Have you blow very softly, please. Stop. Capping. Blow a little bit, please. Stop. Blow again, please. Stop. Cap. Can I have a wood paddle up on the bench for me, please? Capping. Blow softly. Stop. Cap. Yeah, I can do a flash. Tanner, you could get it in the glory hole and heat it up just a little bit more. Woohoo! Next time. So one of the things I'm sort of thinking about is the stem and the point of the leaf. I can see my pattern because of my blank I made isn't exactly in the center, so I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit organic. I'm going to put those details in after we've opened up the piece a little bit so that they don't get too stretched out, which is a possibility. Yeah. Do you know where my puffer is? Well, thanks. I'm usually looking for it there. A lot of the elements that I've been working on for this finding series are going to be eventually on panels of glass. So I've been making large cylinder panels that I'm going to open up, and then I'm going to put some of these natural elements onto the panels. Paddle a little bit, please. We'll do one more heat and then we'll puff it up. So I've been working with my friend Karen Willenbrink, who's a just master at natural forms and elements, and she's been teaching me how to make solid sculpted little birds and bush tits, and those are going to be elements onto my panels that I finally make. So I really appreciate the instruction. I've been doing glass blowing for a long time, but I'm really just starting my foray into solid glass sculpting. Let's see that, Tanner. No, I'm good. So I'm just cooling off the lip a little bit before we puff it. Yep, paddle. All right, I'll take a puff this time. Blow, please. Yep, paddle, please. We'll open up a little bit more, and then I'll pause and put those elements in. We're done with that, thanks. And Tanner's going to start heating up more of the full form and not just focused on the lip. I always think of a potter throwing on a wheel, how they address the whole form each time and not just one section. They're always addressing the whole form. Paddle a little bit, please. And so before I open it up all the way, I'm going to just sort of get the heat in the back a little bit. We'll just do one more like that. I'm going to torch it again, Tanner. Just introducing heat into the whole form so that the lip doesn't beat the rest of the form out as I'm opening it. And then I'll sort of interrupt my flow in a minute here and just put that little leaf stem into the details. Just a long flash, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to put these elements in. Flip. I'll have you flash and then come back. So I just sort of define the tip of the leaf and the stem of the leaf. I'm going to give a little bit more attention to that, and then I got to go back and even out the heat of the whole form. So there's going to be a little bit of movement onto this shape. Like I said, my blank I knew right from the start wasn't exactly in the center. So I'm okay with that. It's going to be a little bit organic. Now we've just defined the stem of the leaf. And then we'll take another couple of regulatory heats here, Tanner, to get the heat in the back so that we're not really spinning out this leaf, this petal, this stem too much. One more and I'll sort of squeeze that together. Just a flash and I'll torch the rest of it. So I just put the stem of the leaf and the point of the leaf. I could see my pattern, you know, is not perfectly symmetrical. I'm okay with that. It's going to be a little bit organic. I knew that right from the start with my blank. But now I'm going to reintroduce some heat to the back of the vessel so that it doesn't all spin out in the front. Another one like that. So I'm building up heat in the back of the vessel. I'm also given that I just sort of superheated where that stem and the point is, so I want to give them a chance to chill out before I continue opening up the vessel so they don't get super spun. Yeah, let's do one more. That's gonna give it, I like that, Tanner. I'm just actually physically cooling that down too because it's really gonna want to start to move here. And I can cool the punny off a little bit. Not yet. You can start getting it warm again, Tanner. The trick here is to turn like nice and slow and get it hot so that we're not spinning it out too soon so our lip doesn't beat us to the punch. We're getting really close here. Carmen, you can take the air hose and start airing off just the stem for me. Go ahead, you can do that. I'm okay with shielding, so each time you can just sort of heat the air the stem a little bit. Just short heats like that, Tanner. That was good. Go ahead, Carmen. Mostly a stem. Hit it. Probably. Don't you think it's this time? Like one more. One more. Yeah. Carmen, you can glove up now. Give me the air hose. Let's see that, Tanner.
Get it by yourself?
Yeah. Thanks, Tanner. I'm heating pretty deep here because I'm really going to open up the form all the way, and I'm turning pretty slow because I don't want that stem to go. I might not be able to get back into the glory hole after this, so I'm really flattening it out. It's small enough that we could, where's my Parchokis? Oh my gosh. Slow down a little bit for me. You can flash. A little bit of heat, yeah. There you go. Spin it sort of slow. Now I'm just pushing those edges up a little bit. Just one more light one, Tanner. We're good. I'm going to crank down a little bit on it so you can do just a light flash. Yeah, we'll do one more flash. Yep. Yep. Sweet. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Tanner. Nice work.